Hey everybody, this is John. Enjoy this meditation with Rob Dube, the author of the book Do Nothing and the CEO at Image One. Enjoy. Today, we're going to talk to Rob about the importance of silent retreats. I know for many of you who just heard that, you're thinking, I could never do it. Rob recently introduced me to somebody who did a 3-year silent retreat. I practice yoga at a place called Center for Yoga, and there's a guy by the name of Johnny Cass. He just got back from a 30-day silent retreat. So Rob's going to tell us the benefits of what it is to be silent. Rob, take it away.
Thank you so much, John. First of all, for your listeners, going on a retreat and being silent can seem pretty scary. And that's something I could completely relate to, because although I go on silent retreats twice a year for 7 to 10 days, each time I go, each time as it comes near, I am nervous. I definitely am busy. I have a lot going on, and a lot of it is exciting. I have loved ones that I am around that I enjoy being with, and the idea of being away from them and not being able to communicate with them is a scary thing. So in that regard, I completely relate to that emotion. But I will say, over the years, with my experience, I have not let that deter me from going and make it. And I'm obviously such a believer in it that I make it a priority. And really, from a leadership standpoint, I make it a priority to do this twice a year. And so, the first thing that I like to share with people about the retreat is what exactly happens. And the name of my book, Do Nothing, kind of derives from that, because I'd have people asking me all the time, what do you do on those retreats? You just sit around and do nothing? And it kind of became a joke. And although we are sitting and meditating, usually between 20 to 30 minutes at a time, it's far from doing nothing. You're at one with your thoughts, and that's a really unique experience because for most of us, it's been a lifetime since we've done that. Most of us have never done it, really, quite frankly. There are other types of meditation that we practice while we're there, things like walking meditation and eating meditation, and also doing some stretching and or yoga, whatever you're comfortable with, because you are sitting a good portion of the day sitting in meditation, sitting quietly, being at one with your breath and your thoughts. You do need to move your body, obviously, so that is a component of it. And so the first thing another thing I like to share with people is the retreats that I go on are secular, so they're non-religious, and some people believe that there's some religious component to these retreats, and for some I'm sure there are, but the ones that I go on and the one that I host, there is not a religious component to it at all. And I like to put it in its most simplistic terms. In fact, maybe just take away the term meditation. And essentially what we're doing during this period of time is learning how to sit and be aware of our thoughts in a non-judgmental way, breathing in and breathing out, being really aware of our breath. And like anything that you practice, the more regularly that you do it, the better that you're going to be at recognizing your thoughts and being able to stop in that moment between stimulus and response. And that moment is precious. That's a precious moment. And the other thing that happens on a retreat, and why I'm so passionate about this for everybody, but in particular, a community that I'm very tied in with, which is the leadership community. I'm so passionate about this because we've got so many decisions that we need to make on a regular basis. We have so many things coming at us so fast. People are expecting us to be everywhere at every second, and they want responses from us quickly. We have a lot of hard decisions that we need to make, and we need to give our brain a rest. And I think doing it on a daily basis does move the needle. But when you go away for, a day and a half to 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 days, whatever works for your schedule, something really unique starts to happen. And what that is initially you're there in the first day, and all those surface thoughts that you have, all the regular stuff that's going on in your day-to-day is still ever present, and it's there. But as the day goes on and time goes by, those things start to get kind of boring for your mind, and they start to kind of fizzle away, and something deeper starts to arise, some things that are kind of just a layer beneath, and that's pretty cool. Oftentimes there's a lot of love in those things that are buried a little bit deeper. Sometimes there's hard things, and those are things that do need to arise. We need to be okay with that in a non-judgmental way and allow them to be, because they are holding us back in many ways. And believe it or not, at a certain point during your time away, those things actually start to kind of fizzle away. And all of a sudden, there's a sense of nothingness and a sense of peace that you can't really describe until you're there. And it's not a peace where you don't feel at one with the world. In fact, you feel more at one with the world, and you start to see and hear and think things in a whole different way. Everything is elevated. All your sense perceptions are elevated. And I haven't had one person that has gone to my retreat or other retreats that I have been on that has not shared that experience with me. And so I think to myself, what's that about? And why wouldn't somebody go and literally clear their mind? The way I look at it, it's like I got a bunch of stuff up there, and it's slowly emptying out and getting cleaned out. And at a certain point, it's kind of cleaned out. And all of a sudden, the way I relate to it is I start to feel my brain again, physically feel it. I feel my brain again. I feel alive, awake again. And as leaders, and the effect that we have on people to come back from something like that, I'll tell you what they're going to start telling you to do. They're going to start telling you to go on another retreat a few months after you get back. So it's that impactful, John.